Good morning friends, myself Dr. Kushal Bhattacharya. Today I have come to discuss about the modified Goodman diagram. Now if you consider on the board, we could see how by step we solving the various requirements which are required to solve or to design any component which is subjected to a fluctuating stress. How we have taken the each and every components dealing with different stress criteria, dealing with the different design criteria. So first of all, we could see that when we consider that depending on the force, when we consider that the force acting is like this, that is a totally completed reversal stress, where we could see that the sigma amplitude is there but the sigma mean component is not there. So for this type of loading we have generated the SN curve, and we have designed on the basis of endurance strength, and we have designed on the basis of sigma E endurance strength. We take a factor of safety, and we have designed the working stress based on this factor of safety. That is our design criteria is endurance strength. That is when the load application of load is total, when there is basically when the sigma m, that is the mean component of stress, is 0. Now if you concentrate that in the previous lecture we have studied the Goodman diagram. Now what is basically a Goodman diagram and Soderberg diagram? When we could see that there is both a mean component, there is both if you consider like this, there is both a mean component of stress sigma m and there is a sigma amplitude sigma a, both are there. Then we have gone for three criteria. Number one criteria is Soderberg criteria. Number two is Goodman diagram, and number three is Garber parabola. Now over there we have seen that the Soderberg criteria is much more conservative for design, and we have now today in this lecture we should consider Goodman diagram. And if you remember, the Goodman diagram is basically, consists of the endurance strength and the ultimate strength. So, and now over here we could see there is some modification is required for Goodman diagram. Why the modification is required for Goodman diagram, we should discuss in this lecture. Now we should concentrate on the board, and we should apply this sort of load, that is where there is mean stress and stress amplitude, both are there. So now we should see what is the modified Goodman diagram basically, and why the modification is required, Now if we plot, we know we draw an axis. You could see we have drawn an axis. So you could not see on the video, so if you could see it like this, I should draw a little bit. If you draw an axis like this, I think you will see now. If you draw an axis like this, so over here the y-axis, basically the y-axis represents the alternating stress, we know this, and the x-axis represents the mean stress, we know this. Now over here, first we should plot, we should know that we should plot a sigma L point, then we should get a sigma endurance strength. Now based on this, we should also draw a sigma L point and the sigma ultimate. Now according to actually basically Goodman diagram, what is the requirement? That it should join the sigma endurance with the sigma ultimate. So we are joining this Goodman diagram, sigma E with sigma ultimate. We are joining this. Let us name this component O A and C. Let us name this component like this, O and C. Now over here we are joining another component. That is I am marking with another color, sigma ultimate with sigma ultimate. We are joining this sigma ultimate with sigma ultimate. This is the braid line. We may have to make this line straight. Now we have joined this sigma ultimate. So this angle is basically 45 degree. This angle is basically 45 degree. So now what happens, we could see that if we consider the Goodman diagram, the whole region under the whole region under this, that is endurance strength and yield strength, it is a safe region for design. But if you consider that the whole region is safe for design, but if you consider, if you especially look at this region, now we considered first the region where it cuts, and we named this as B. Now if you see that this region, especially if you concentrate on this region, we could see that this region, the stress has exceeded the yield stress of the material and it is ultimate. So what happened here, yielding takes place. Here the material yielding takes place during the fracture load. Here the yielding takes place, as it's called the yield stress. Yielding takes place. Yielding takes place on the material. So over here a large amount of plastic deformation will take place and the yielding takes place over here, and the design is not safe. If you consider the Goodman diagram, this region is not safe for design. This region is not safe for design. So here a modification is required for the Goodman diagram. So that is why it is called as a modified Goodman diagram. Now how the modification is done, basically how the modification is done, we should try to understand. Now we should join this, point O to B. We should join this point O to B. Now we should join this point O to B. Now this angle is theta. This angle is theta. Now we join the point O to B and the angle is theta. Now if we plot this, if we extend this point over here, we should get, that is S amplitude, and if we just drop over here in the x-axis, we should get a coordinate which is called SM. So B basically represents if we write this, now we should not put like this, we should put a sigma A and we should write this as sigma M. Now the coordinate of B is, you could write like this, sigma M x-axis and sigma A y-axis. So this is the coordinate of point B, which is basically a function of this theta, because we considered this region, that is OA, B and OAB, and if we name it at K, so OA, B and K as the safest region, because over here what happens, in the upper region, the upper part, it guards against the endurance strength, is lower than the endurance strength, and over here also x-axis it is lower than the yield strength of the material. To this, according to modified Good diagram, we could say that OA, B and K is the safest region, for designing any component which is subjected, for designing any component, OABK is the safest region, because for designing any component we can take any value lying on this region, that is OABK. So anywhere we could take a point, which could be our design criteria. So over this region is considered OABK as the safest region. Now for this region we have taken a point on the boundary. We have taken, so that means we could design at any point. We could take a point over here, we could take a point over here, we could take a point over here, we could take any point and we could design from this. So for the basis of this we have taken the boundary point. So the boundary point is the B, where both these lines intersect. So and we have the angle is theta, so this boundary point which is ordinate is sigma M by sigma A is a function of this theta. Now we could say that now we could plot like how to get the value of sigma A. Now from this figure we could easily say that, we could easily write that tan theta is basically height by base, that is sigma A by sigma M. Tan theta is equals to sigma A by sigma M. Now sigma A is basically what? PA, that is amplitude of load by area by amplitude of mean stress by area. Now if we deduce this, now if we write like this, it becomes tan theta is equals to PA by PM. Tan theta becomes equals to PA by PM. Now over here we could see that tan theta is equals to PA by PM. So from here now we could see that tan theta is equals to PA by PM. Now over here we could see that if we take actually basically if we take a factor of safety, so now we could write that SA, the SA is equals to sigma A by factor of safety, and SM is equals to sigma M by factor of safety. Now basically it indicates what that, so if we take a factor of safety, then the point can come at anywhere in this if we take a factor of safety, so it could this sigma A can be reduced over here and sigma N can be reduced over here, so it could lie on this point. So depending, so anywhere, that means I want to indicate that for this theta we could taking a factor of safety, we could plot anywhere in this region. Similarly, if we vary theta also, if the theta is like here, if the theta lies over here also, no problem. So what happened, so this should be my area and this should be my area, and here also we could put a factor of safety and lie over there and lie over there. That means basically what I want to indicate that this region, this total region is the safest region, and we could plot anywhere over here, depending on the position of the theta. We could change and we could plot our component which is subjected to both axials, sigma amplitude and sigma M. The region, that is this region, we could plot anywhere in this region. Now now you could see that. So this type of load is basically an axial load. This is an axial load basically. This is for an axial load which is fluctuating. That is sigma, which is coming up and coming down. So that means if you see this curve, it is like this. So it is compressive. That means it should be in the reverse direction. It will reverse direction. That means it is like this. It is compression, then reduces, then compression, then reduces, but no tension is not taking place. It's not totally fluctuating. So this is applicable for axial load, or you could pull like this. You could pull and then you could release the load. You could pull, if you could pull and you could release the load. If you could pull and you could release the load, this type of loading is applicable for here. Now what happens? So this diagram is applicable for axial load, what I have shown you. So this is applicable, this diagram is for axial load, for axial loading, and bending loading also, and for bending moment also. Because in bending moment, if you see the type of bending moment I want to explain. So here the bending moment, if you suppose this is a cantilever, and you are applying a load over here, so this causes a bending moment. So this, you are applying a load over here, and the next moment you are applying a load over here. So this type of bending moment, everything can also be applied with this diagram. Only the thing is that it could be proved that over here also you could prove that it becomes like this. Tan theta will become equals to MA, that is amplitude, and M, that is M mean. So same thing can be applied for bending moment also, but for torsional load, so if you see torsional load, but for torsional load, this diagram will change a bit. Torsional load means what? So you could applying this direction and you are applying in the reverse direction. You are applying in this, that is clockwise, and in the next moment you are applying anti-clockwise. That is twisting moment. So for twisting, that is for cyclic loading. In the twisting, the diagram changes a bit. So I am explaining the diagram now for the twisting load. Now we should go for as I've showed that the torsional load. Now we could go for the torsional load diagram. If you plot a torsional load diagram, that means you try to understand this diagram. So here the load is applied in this way, that is in torsion, that is clockwise, and it is getting down, and again it is clockwise or getting down. So it could be in, if you see this, the loading is applied like this. If it is in the top, if I plot clockwise, and in the bottom if I take anti-clockwise, it should be moving like anti-clockwise and then going back and then going again. That means it has both the sigma A, and it has sigma mean, in both cases. Okay, now how to get the modified Goodman diagram for that? The region, the concept is same. Over here we again plot an axis. We again plot an axis. If you see, yes, we could again plot an axis. We have again plotted an axis. Now on this axis, we over here we marked that this is tau amplitude and this is tau mean, that is shearing. Now over here we considered tau yield. Over here, and we have considered also tau yield. Now we know that shearing takes place only for a ductile material. If you go for brittle material does not shear very much. It shears slightly and there is no shear force. Basically, if you can apply a shear force, but shear deformation cannot take place if there is no plasticity is there, because shear deformation mainly causes plasticity. And if in a ductile material, in a brittle material, what happens? There is less amount of plastic region is there, very small amount of plastic region is there. So once it reaches the ultimate, before it reaches the ultimate, it breaks down. So if you see the plot of the torsional load by angle theta, you could see that for ductile material it behaves like this, a plasticity, but for brittle material it breaks over here. Just amount of this very small amount of force is applied and it breaks like this. So for brittle material there is no for that reason we are not taking the sigma ultimate over here. So for this reason what happened, we joined both this, we joined both these lines. We join both these lines. So sigma y, and what happens, we have got an endurance point. We had taken endurance strength over here, tau endurance strength. Now what happens, basically we join this, we draw. Now what we do, basically we draw a parallel line to the x-axis, and we get a point which is normally called B. Now we name the point OA, BC, DB. Now we could see that according to modified Goodman diagram for torsional fluctuating stress, we could see that this region is the safest region. This region, because it endurance strength to the yield point, because it does not comes nearer to the yield point. So this is the safest region. Now over here we do the same thing. We should draw a line. Basically what? We should draw a line at an angle theta. Now over here we could extend this line, there is no problem. Now we take a point P. Now P basically indicates the region of safety and the region of failure. P basically indicates the last boundary condition for the region of safety and for the region of failure. Now if we plot this with SE and with SA, and if we plot this with SM, what happened? What is the coordinate of this point? This is SM, and which is SA. So this is also a function of this theta. Now basically what happens, what we could see that we should find that tan theta is basically what happens, tau A by tau M, which is basically that is MTA and MT and mean. So this is basically now what happens. Basically now if we take a factor of safety, now if that is the SA is basically what, tau A by factor of safety, and SM is what, tau M by factor of safety. So we could draw anywhere in this region. We could come over here. We could draw, if the factor of safety is more, we could come over here, and if you still increase the factor of safety, the point will be shifted according to this line. Now if we again change the value of theta, what happens, as I've shown before also, if you have changed this value of theta also, then again this point this point will be shifted more in this direction. Now it depends on the designer what should be the value of theta will take. Now this is the modified Goodman diagram for fluctuating torsional load. Now this is all about the modified Goodman diagram. Now if you like my lecture of delivering the lecture, and you could put a thumb up to it, and you could subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you. Have a good day.